Hello, my name's Mike Ashworth. I'm the lead of the agronomy team here at the Australian Herbicide Resistance Initiative. As you might realise, we have a very herbicide dominant system, and herbicide over reliance has actually led to our herbicide resistance problem. There's a wide range of other tools available to control these weeds. So here at AHRI, what we're actually trying to do is we're trying to use a farming systems approach to actually pull a lot of these other options in to control really problematic weeds. So things like crop competition, rotations and sequencing, and also the optimum use of these herbicides, with a fundamental aim to increase the growth and the profitability of cropping, whilst obviously robbing as many resources away from these weeds as possible. So we have numerous projects currently underway here at AHRI, and they include the use of pre-emergent herbicides to control annual ryegrass and wheat. Growers currently are pushing towards an earlier sowing time in order to maximise crop yields, but that's put a lot of pressure on our pre-emergent herbicides. So what we're doing is we're understanding the underlying characteristics of these pre-emergent herbicides that actually make them successful in controlling large annual ryegrass populations when the crop is sown extra early. Another major research area is increasing the competitiveness of canola against major weeds such as annual ryegrass and wild radish. As we may realise, canola is a very small seeded crop, and early in its life it's very uncompetitive against weeds, so we're very herbicide reliant in that crop. What we've actually found is if we can increase our sowing rate, it does major things to decrease the weed seed production. If we can narrow our row spacing, that's also important, and also increase our seed size. So use varieties with a larger seed. That's a more vigorous crop that will actually improve our crop competition outcomes. In order to really push the system on and to really push our research along, we're actually now working on really problematic sites, multiple herbicide resistant sites and sites with massive annual ryegrass seed banks. So what we've done is we've also taken 2 sites with annual ryegrass seed banks that are up around the 70 seeds per square metre area. And what we're doing is we're using short-term Serradella pasture phases to actually rotate out of the ryegrass problem. And what we found in that project is that 3 years of Serradella in a row, using the highly effective spray topping technique, we've been able to rapidly and dramatically reduce multiple herbicide resistant ryegrass populations down to very low levels. Next year we're going into a wheat crop. That's when we're going to start seeing the benefits of all that control. So with additional sheep prices and the additional nitrogen input from that, we think it's going to be a really economic outcome for growers. Okay, and looking into the future, AHRI Agronomy are actually looking at developing new technology to help growers deal with their weed resistance problems. So as we might realise, when you start controlling weeds, they're very well spread across the field, but as those weed numbers start to drop, we start getting these patches of high density multiple herbicide resistant weeds. Our aim is to now actually bring as much diversity into actually controlling them. Some of the problematic species that we've been dealing with are actually weeds that grow taller than the crop at harvest. So what we've developed is a LiDAR system, light detection and ranging system, that can actually differentiate the height of these weeds against the crop to actually map where they are. Those weeds tend to shed their seeds before harvest. We know where that seed bank is going to be, which means that we can actually program in a map to actually bring every tool in the toolbox against them. Things like increasing competition, increasing our herbicide rate on that area, maybe even reducing our cutting height for harvest weed seed control, or even desiccating that patch early if it's too late for harvest weed seed control. It brings in every tool in our toolbox to control them. So that's the future of what we're doing here at AHRI.